She brought me sprinkle cookies.
So what, no fucking TV now?
Hey!
Maybe she's from Jersey.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Maybe She's from Jersey. We're your hosts,
Jackie Neese
and Alex Curtis. And today we have a very special guest. My little's going to do the sponsor first. Go ahead.
Sponsor is Freshie Healthy Fusion in Bloomfield, New Jersey.
It's quite a mouthful.
It really is, but I swear to God they are advertising properly because it is the freshest fruit I have ever had. It's basically like, think of Pliables, but they do like the most incredible smoothies. They do acai bowls. You can even get like dinner there. They have like grilled chicken and stuff like that.
They had really cool like bowls you could put together. Some girl was eating one, and I was kind of looking over her shoulder, looking at her food without being weird. But it looked
Without
really
being weird. So I got a mango cocoa smoothie. So good. So good. We also got our guest an acai bowl, and we got an acai bowl. Those are kind of gone. We finished those.
Yeah. Sorry.
But yeah, let's introduce our guest.
Okay, today's guest is the one and only Joe Faccone. Say hi.
How you guys doing?
Pleasure
to be here.
We're so excited to have Joe on today. We're just going to invade his privacy and ask him a bunch of questions about his life.
I'm here for it. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, his rise to success on social media.
Everything Jersey, and then we have like fun questions that you can answer.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
Joe's going to
It's gonna be
answer
good.
all of your questions we asked on our Instagram, and they're kind of fun, so I'm really, really excited for that.
Tell us who you are and like what happened to you.
Right, so
that sounded really dark.
Sorry.
What happened to you?
yeah, nothing bad has happened. Knock on wood, not
Tell
yet.
us who you are and how you became the Joe Faccone.
Yeah, honestly, crazy story. Like how the whole thing happened. Didn't really see it coming. Didn't really like plan for this to happen. You know,
You didn't plan to become social media
I
famous?
did not. Play. As crazy as that is, I didn't plan for it.
Crazy.
I wish that was me.
Yeah.
I know, right? I'm like, who wants to like my stuff?
So basically, like I'd make a few videos, kind of like a couple hundred followers on Instagram, people that I grew up with, people I work with, like nobody that I didn't really know. And, I'd make like small videos like on stories when I was out having a good time. And I was always out a lot. I really enjoyed going out. Now I'm old and I can't drink anymore.
Oh my God. Your old world.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Old world, yeah. I'm old school. But so like TikTok came out obviously, and there was a thing. And I don't even know how many years has TikTok been around. Wow. But anyway, long story short, whatever. I enjoy going out a lot, posting funny videos. So everyone was like, "Yo, you have to like download TikTok," and I was always like against it. My God, I'm not like a TikToker. It doesn't strike me the right way. Like my mom would be on it, like, and I realized like everybody's on this, like parents of all ages, stuff like that.
Wait, that's so
And
funny.
my mom would like send me videos on TikTok, and I'd be like, have to click it, go into the browser, like this whole thing. I'm like, you know what? I'll just download it. So I downloaded it. Had no idea how to use it. Like obviously, like there's an algorithm, the whole thing. Didn't know how an algorithm worked. I know it's like a big thing now for like.
Yeah.
I honestly, 3 years later, I still don't know how it works.
Yeah.
I just post shit and see what happens.
Like I'm successful.
Yeah, and so whatever. I was going down to DJs. Got big off the Jersey Shore, obviously. For those of you who don't know DJs, it's the greatest place on earth for sure. It is just, it's a black hole, but it's the greatest thing. Like, you have to go a few times to get stories because you'll forget what actually happens. So, it was like Memorial Day weekend. I guess it's 2020, 2021. I can't even remember. Too many DJ trips. And so whatever, it was like, it's supposed to be a very like rainy Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day weekend is like one of the biggest weekends on the shore. And it's like, I'm talking 120% chance of rain Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So a lot of people were saying like, oh, like I'm not even gonna go down Memorial Day weekend, it's not worth it, blah, blah. So I was already, had my vacation days in on work, I was already going. No matter what, making the best out of it. And so I'm driving down there, and it was like kind of sunny at the time. So I'm like, you know what? It's time for my first TikTok. Like, let's just throw it out there. Let's see what happens, So wherever I start recording, I'm wearing, like, I'll never forget, I'm wearing like a LeBron James Lakers purple jersey, like can't miss me, And so I make a video, basically in a nutshell, rain, snow, sleet, hail, we're going to DJs, the whole video. I'm sure we could play the video.
Yeah,
and
we could.
I got people hitting me up going, "You're going down to Belmar this weekend? It's gonna rain." Cause it's Memorial Day weekend. I'm gonna be at DJ's. Rain, snow, sleet, hail, it don't fucking matter. I'm gonna be there pumping my fucking fist like the jerk off I am. And there's nothing nobody's gonna do about it. Alright?
So whatever, I did it, closed the phone down, and just rode down the parkway. Got to Belmar. So we get to Belmar, I meet up with my boy. We're starting to move this stuff into the house. And all of a sudden, the neighbors next door, because like you rent houses in Belmar, it's always
Right.
like, you know, 21 plus kids just looking to party. And I get out of the car, I'm moving stuff in. The kid like looks at me, goes, "Holy shit, you're the dude from TikTok." Now I'm sitting there, like at first I'm like, this guy's got the wrong guy. Clearly, like I must look like somebody. And then he comes over to me, he's like, "Bro, that was fucking great. Like, what a video." And I'm like, "Dude, what are you talking about?" And then he literally shows me his phone of my video with like over 100,000 views within like an hour and a half.
That's
So
wild.
from Hoboken to Belmar in that time, like 150,000 views, and like all these comments like, "This kid's fucking great. Like, this is the energy." I had people that were like 40 years old commenting like, "This was us 25 years ago," like all this stuff. And then from there, it just like, you know, like took over, and it still didn't hit me yet. So I'm like, "Oh, that's fucking crazy." I'm not understanding how TikTok works. I'm like, "That's crazy that this got this many views though."
Yeah.
So whatever, the night goes on, like, you know, we continue moving everything in, like, you know, regular fucking people. And we go to DJ's obviously that night, and people are like coming up to me like, "Oh, dude, like you're the guy from the video." And it was all fun and games. I'm like, you know, a few people here and there. I'm like, "Oh yeah, man, like funny," like not realizing, whatever. Night goes on, the black hole starts happening. I'm hammered now at this point. And I get a notification on my phone, which is weird because there's never any service at DJ's at all.
To be.
So I get this notification on my phone, and it says Barstool Sports. Now, like, obviously everybody our age knows Barstool Sports. It's like the greatest thing. They post the greatest videos, funny shit. And whatever I click on, it was like basically them asking me permission to use my video, and like no copyright, all that stuff. And like it still has a click. So I'm around, my 3 boys are staying at the bar. I'm not telling them anything because I'm thinking one of them, I'm so drunk, I'm thinking one of them is like fucking with me, like this is a joke. So yeah, so I like click on the link, like half blacked out, like one eye open like this. I'm like typing my information and I just send it. Don't tell anybody. Night goes on. The night, you know, finishes. Everybody's hammered. Everybody's, you know, ready to pass out. I go back to my Belmar house. I fall asleep. I wake up and my phone is literally like blowing up. Like no, I'm not even joking. Like 500 plus text messages. I gained like 7,000 followers on Instagram, and I wasn't understanding what was going on. And I clicked on my phone and like clicked on Instagram, opened it up, and like, you know, like the notifications like drops down. It was like this astronomical number. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Did your mom see it?
Yeah, she did see it. Actually, I'll tell you, I'll get more into that later. But so I realized that Barstool posted it, and at this point, in like the first 2-3 hours, it had like 2 million views on it, and now the shit was blowing up. Now all my boys in the Belmar
started.
Yeah. I'm like, this is gonna be the greatest summer ever. And
What a way to start.
yeah. So, and honestly, the only person more excited than me, the only people were my boys in my house.
Yeah.
They were like, "Yo, we fucking made it! Like, we made
They're
it!"
like, we're famous.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, "Yo, we made it! Like, this is crazy. We're on fucking Barstool." And yeah, so from there, that just like took off from there.
Iconic.
So a lot of my videos the rest of that summer were just like going out and just being like, you know, drunk and having a good time, and people were just going nuts. They loved it. It was great for
What
a
a like
good
an
time.
easy
Funny.
stick to have for you.
Yeah, I was like, wow, it's been this easy. Like, I
Right.
wish, I'm 20 years old now, right?
Yeah.
I know I'm old, but I wish I would have realized it was this easy when I was 21.
Yeah.
I would have rode this thing for a while, you know?
Yeah.
Now I feel like I caught it too late where,
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
yeah. So like, you know.
I disagree.
Yeah. See, that's the same thing too, though. And I appreciate like you saying that, because like when I thought it was like the tip of like where I was at, people were coming up to me like, "Dude, like you're like big time. Like this is crazy."
Yeah.
Like my cousins in Florida, my cousins in Georgia, they're all sending me your shit.
Yeah, he was saying people recognize him in Florida.
Yeah, I went to Fort
Yeah.
Lauderdale, and we went to Fort Lauderdale and Boca and Delray Beach, and people were like coming up to me. And my boy's like, "Dude, this is crazy." I'm like, honestly, no, this is nuts. Like,
Yeah.
this is actually.
We say that Florida is literally just Jersey.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Jersey with palm trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone flocks to one or the other.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
I'm always
crazy.
there, too.
You know who Lil Mo is, though, right?
Yeah,
you have a
yeah.
video with him too.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, done a video. I
like
talked to him a lot.
in the pandemic, he just got bored and just started
Yeah.
making videos.
Yeah.
How old is he? He's got a family, kids. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like, you just never know where it's gonna bring you. There's also like so many people like in their 50s who just like hit on social media, and it's just
Yep.
like a game changer for their life. So
Yeah.
like maybe. I love, like, my mentor always says this to me. He was like, you weren't supposed to make it young because you wouldn't have known how to handle it.
Exactly.
Like, you're just going to be 10 times more prepared
Yeah.
to be in something and do something with it at an older age.
Yeah.
So really it's
That's
an
a good way to look at
advantage.
I actually, that's the first time like I'm actually believing that, like how you're saying that.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you, and like I look at it as I got big for like partying in a way. You know what I mean? And I felt
You
like
could
if
have
I
done
did
something
that,
really stupid
yeah,
when you were young.
yeah. And like if
Posted
I had
something,
that
like-
much traction at like 21 years old and like just
Yeah.
like more immature, like I'm honestly like I can honestly say I'd probably be like an alcoholic. I would like be so obsessed with
the-
who I have to be for the
Right.
video. Where like that is me. Like when I'm out, I always have a good time. Everybody knows that when they go out with me. Me and my boys, like we always have a good time, and people want to surround themselves with us
Right.
because we're just a good time.
Yeah.
And like now, like I'm old enough to like understand that. So now that I can't drink like I used to, like even though it was like 2-3 years ago, like it is like I drink one
There's a
day.
cutoff at some point.
Yeah, I can't recover from it. I'm like, how did I do this for 5 days a week?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
IV drip.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, I survive off liquid IV. Like now, I'll drink
Yep.
like one day, like 3 days in a row. I'm drinking liquid IVs. Those,
Yeah.
Shout out to Liquid IV. They're the MVPs. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we can get
Sponsor
a sponsor. Yeah,
Joe.
sponsor. Yeah. Yeah. So
That's
That's
great.
wild.
Good
Do
for
you
you.
do you feel like there was any moment where you were like considering doing that full time with your life or something?
yeah. So once I like some sponsorships started to like contact me, and I was like realizing like wow, I can actually like make money off this.
Yeah.
You know. It was definitely a thought. And my older brother, he was pushing for it more than me. Like obviously, that's a thing too. Like with people don't realize like these social media influencers and stuff like that. It's a full-time job. Like you have to be on this 24 hours a day. Like
Yeah.
thinking of ideas, like thinking of this.
Content.
Yeah, and it's a lot. And
Yeah.
I have a full-time job that I work a lot of hours at. So I like did my best to juggle both of them, you know, and like be responsible that I can go out and make these videos of me going out, still make it to work the next day.
Right.
Because I wasn't making enough money, you know.
Right.
But yeah, like you know, I got like Manscaped,
That was a cool one.
Yeah, I had Manscaped for a while, and honestly, I just stopped doing it. They didn't like cut ties with me. They loved it. They were like, they had like some like they're like big with the UFC now. They have big sponsorships, and I'm like I'm surprised they keep renewing it with me because I'm getting views on the videos. But
Right.
they were like, dude, you come up with the most funniest ideas.
yeah.
About like shaving, like you
That's
know.
such a
Yeah.
nice
for your
compliment.
date or
Yeah.
whatever. I saw those.
And
They're so
to be
funny.
honest, I only stopped doing it because I was like running out of ideas. I'm like, you know what I mean? So.
Maybe they would rather appreciate like less videos, but like greater content.
And that's what
Yeah.
we did too. That's what I told the guy. I was like,
Yeah.
instead of, because I had to do
'Cause I'm
3
sure
videos
you
a
could
month.
Just bullshit shit.
Yeah.
Like,
But it was like I have a decently nice car that I worked hard for.
right.
But I got a contract with Manscaped, and whatever Manscaped was paying me was enough that I wasn't paying for my car anymore. Like
Nice.
Manscaped was paying for.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, you know. So
That's
I was looking at it
awesome.
like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I could really build this thing up.
Yeah.
If I was younger, I think I would have like pushed for it even more. But to be
You
honest,
never
like
know.
you said, you never
Yeah.
like you know
You
it
might
wasn't
have
time.
more content as at this stage in your life.
Yeah.
It just might be that transition period
Right.
where you have
Yeah.
to figure out like the new Joe. Like
Exactly.
you're
Yeah.
not 21 anymore. It's
Yeah.
just different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I like don't get me wrong, like I love doing the videos. I love like making people laugh the whole nine. And if I could figure out another way to do it that it's still me, that I'm
Right.
not pretending to be somebody,
For sure.
that would be great. You know what I mean? And like the TikTok thing, like I don't post as much, and I don't even know how the algorithm worked. If I did, I
Yeah.
probably would have got a lot more traction on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, I post a few videos, like you know, I try to do at least one a month now, and it still gets like you know the 20, 30,000 views to 100. It varies, you know, but which is still cool because like you know you're still making people laugh. People still come up to me, not as much, and they're like, dude, like you have no idea. Like we play you at dinner, like all your videos, like and stuff like that. So it's cool, you know. You can make people
How
laugh.
do you
so
come up with
That's
like content? Does
awesome.
it just hit you, or you're
Yeah.
like, this would be fucking funny?
No, honestly, it would just hit me, and sometimes I get so mad because I never write anything down. But I'll be like, obviously, like I live in Hoboken. Like getting out of Hoboken is the worst thing ever. Like you used to
Yeah.
live there, you understand. So when I'm sitting in traffic, I just think of shit, and I'm just like, oh, I got to record this. And if I don't record it right then, I'll be like, I got to remember
lose
that.
it.
I'll totally forget.
I do the same
Yeah,
thing.
so I'm like, I gotta do this now. It may not be like the right lighting or like it's like
Yeah.
something ain't
Yeah.
right, but I'm like, this is it. You know, I'll post it and
Just comes to you.
whatever happens, happens. You know,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
I do the same thing, especially with songwriting, so it's a little bit different, but I don't know why. I think I've said this on the podcast before. I do my best songwriting right before I'm about to fall asleep,
Right.
or when I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like half awake. My mind is just so clear.
Yeah.
And it's like song lyrics flow to me.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm like laying there with my eyes closed. I'm like, that's a good idea. And then I'm like, get up
up.
and write it down. And I'm like, no, I'm not getting up and
I'll
writing
do it in
down.
the morning.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll do it in the morning. I'll remember. Do not remember when I wake up. But I
Yeah.
remember that I had a good idea.
Right.
So
That's what
that
happens to
is
me, yeah.
so frustrating.
Yeah. So a lot of people actually recently have told me to do like to like try to switch it up. It's like I'm very good like on the spot. Like so like if I'm talking to somebody like making jokes stuff like that. So now a lot of people are like, dude, you should try like stand up, but that's a whole nother monster too.
Yeah.
I would love to do it. I'm like a big people person. I love to talk to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I'm like quick with it. You know what I mean? Like, so it's something that I've like thought about doing. So that could happen.
Yeah.
You never know. But yeah, we'll see what life brings. Right?
I feel like that's not that's like a common thing. I feel like people that are funny on social media, when they get their you know, they're people that their shtick.
Yeah.
You can totally build on that and
Right.
like literally look at freaking Eric D'Alessandro.
Yeah, yo, he's fucking hilarious. I've been watching him for years. He is hilarious.
Did you
Love
see
him.
though when I think he was 27 or 28 years old, he said he was like truck driving and he said he was miserable. He was so depressed. Like he didn't know what he wanted to do with his life. And it was literally like within a couple of years, his life changed.
That's crazy.
Like,
Yeah.
you just never know.
And to think of someone like him, like he looks like he's so happy all the time, and like the videos he does, like his energy. So to think like at one point he was like down on himself.
Yeah,
it's like crazy.
He
You know what I mean?
struggled a lot with mental health. So I'm just saying, like what she was saying, like I guess it really could just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You just have to like redirect.
Yeah.
I love
100%.
too the saying, especially with social media, because a lot of people say with social media, like, oh, it's oversaturated. Oh, it's so hard to grow on TikTok, whatever. Like, yes. But at the same time, when have we ever been in a position where you could literally get famous in your living room?
Yeah.
Like, we're filming this in my living room.
Yeah.
Like, not
It's
saying
crazy.
this video's gonna like blow
Hello.
up, but like it could, and like we didn't even have to leave the house.
Yep.
Like it's when else could we say that that was an opportunity?
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Definitely, like I think the app is oversaturated, and I think a lot of content is oversaturated. But I think like things in the purest form, like how you just turn the camera on and was like, this I think is
Yeah.
funny, always cuts through because it's so genuine.
Right.
And I think that's what really clicked about your videos was it just felt so like you were being you, but like you also knew it was like kind of funny and
Yeah.
like kind of making fun of some
Exactly,
things,
yeah.
but like it was also true. Like it had a really good
Like you could
shtick
like
to
you
it.
could relate to it, whether you like agree with it, disagree, or
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I know exactly what he's talking
You know
about.
somebody
Yeah.
like that,
Right.
you know.
It was good is like I like you said, like, you know, I talked to like Lil Mo, JoJo's Carlotta, like all of them, like all
Yeah.
great kids, love them. Like you talk to them on social media, they're so cool. And I meet like a lot of other people that I may not even have seen, but like they show me the videos, and they we just talk about like making videos, and they're like a few of the people say to me like how do you come up with your ideas? And I tell them that, and they say honestly that's awesome that you do that, because some people like plan out this whole video and do this whole work. That's why you got to really show respect to like a lot of people that do like
elaborate, like where it like clips to things,
yeah,
and they're like
you
changing
put so much
outfits
work
and-
into that, right?
Yeah.
And like God bless you for the patience, like that's
Yeah.
awesome. But let's just say you do all that work and that takes you hours of work, and then you post it and you don't
Right.
get in that algorithm.
Yeah.
You just not that you wasted that time because you're still making content.
But it's
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And
That's
like
a lot. That's a lot more frustrating, I would
exactly.
Well,
yeah.
I was literally going to touch on that because I do that a lot. Like
Right.
I'll content plan for like a whole month.
Right.
And like before I started really posting things about like, I'll say my personal life, but just in the sense of like, I think before 2020, like everything I posted was singing covers, dancing covers, like whatever it was. It was, oh, this is my music. Like, and I would spend hours editing things, putting things together. And like, it was just, I was getting like 10 likes. Like I have a singing dog. My dog sings. How does that not have 1 million views?
Yeah.
He sings. A little puppy chihuahua. He's adorable. It's like 50 likes. And I'm like, okay. And then I like talk about pizza from New Jersey.
Oh my
and
God,
it's like
yeah.
900,000 views. And I'm like, okay.
Wait,
But-
I literally just saw one of your TikToks the other day, and it was like you were out like in Montclair or somewhere. They're like, "Oh, where should we go?"
Yeah.
And it blew up. I'm like, all she had to say was like, "Where should we
It's
go?"
literally the
That's
ones
all you
that
had
are
to
like she never thinks about it. She's like, fuck it, let's just do this.
Those
Yeah.
are
Ones
ones,
that-
yeah.
yep.
Yeah,
That's, like,
those
what I
are
try to
ones.
do. And then if it doesn't stick, I'm like, ah, fuck it. Like, it
You know
literally
what?
took me 10 seconds.
I feel
Literally.
like that could be the transition that like you get traction on those ones that are genuine and sincere, and then
Yeah.
when you build that following, you can like upgrade to the ones that are planned because
Right.
you
Yeah.
have the following.
Yeah.
I do a little bit of both in that. And like I'll
Yeah.
put a singing cover up and I just post it. I don't know what the fuck is going on with the algorithm at this
Yeah.
point. Like the
I don't know
hashtags,
how the fuck it works.
I'm like, okay, if I post at 10 a.m. and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just going to post it. And then the ones where I'm just like being me and just like talking and saying like that video didn't even make sense.
I thought it was hilarious. Too,
I
like,
was slightly drunk.
Yeah,
and
you're
it
like,
didn't
I don't
make
like to
any-
be touched. This
Yeah, I
now.
was like, I don't like to
Can
be
we-
touched.
Can we tell what happened before then with Erin?
Oh, Erin. So we were at Porta in
My little
Montclair.
has this new roommate, and she is literally a mood.
She's the best. I think she can hear us right now. But we went out in Montclair and we went to like Just Jake's, we went to a few places, and like we were at the bar and we were trying to cut through, but like a bunch of men were like pushing us over. And I was like, oh, kind of rude. But then also I was like, don't touch me. And then this guy turns around and puts his arm around me and tries to like swoop me into the front of the bar. And I literally pushed back and I was like, and he was like, oh, I was helping you get to the bar. I was like, I don't need your fucking help. And like that again is like where we were talking about like, you know, being nice to people.
Yeah.
I was like, this men outside of my apartment, I do not talk to. I'm so mean.
That guy's gonna see this podcast, like that's that fucking girl that pushed me and told me
That
don't
bitch
fucking
from
touch
Just
me. Yes.
Jake's. But no, and he was like, I'm sure he was trying to be nice, but I'm just very defensive.
Yeah.
And we were like, let's get the fuck out of here. So we leave, we go to Porta in Montclair, and it's such a nice spot.
Yeah.
But we went to Porta, and the upstairs of Porta is so cool.
Yeah.
But I just think it's too new. There was like nothing going on. There was like 45-year-old men, and then like people who had like they were in college, like it was like 19-year-olds, and we were like, this is weird. So we go to leave, and we both like drank a decent amount. We walk down the stairs, and so she trips down the stairs. She's like, wow! She trips over. She breaks like 3 of her toes. Her
Toes gripped over her heel
Oh
like
shit.
a claw and got stuck between her shoe and the concrete.
Literally it was like so dramatic. And then she gets up, and we're both dying laughing, and we were both wearing like loose but tight shirts, but she didn't have a bra on, and the sides were open, so her shirt moved when she fell, and it's like just her nipple out. And we're walking down the stairs, and I turn and look at her, and I was like, oh my god, let's fix your shirt. And she's like, we're on the ground dying laughing, and I was like, I think we should go for a walk. Like, I think we need to take a second and just go for a walk.
Like, how was your night? She was like, I don't know. I probably harassed people.
Yeah.
Sexually harassed people on the street.
We were standing in front of the Wellmont, and we were like, let's just take a minute. Like, we were dying laughing. I don't know. We were having a good time. And I literally just picked up my phone and made the stupidest video.
Yeah.
And I made other TikToks that night that I was like, okay, cool. That one looked good. That one sounded good. No, it goes nowhere.
Right.
It's literally just the
The
videos
one
that
that you
are
would
like,
never know. Yeah.
What do you think as far as like your Jersey aesthetic, like your Jersey vibe? Because it is like your shtick.
Yeah.
What are like the top 3 things that you love about Jersey?
Definitely like the nightlife. Like I like to travel, you know, a good amount through like the United States at least. And I feel like nobody like parties like we do. Yeah, I can honestly say that. And even at like 28 now, I still feel that way. And like I'll go to other states, and I feel like you can, like, you go to Florida, right? And like you said, like Florida's like Jersey, but you go to Florida and you're out at a bar, like someone will just come up to you and be like, you're definitely from Jersey.
Oh
you know
my
what I mean?
God,
Like,
all the time.
anywhere. Like, I went to Scottsdale, Arizona in March, and we were there. So it was like me and my 5 boys, and like, you know, we just dressed how we dress like here. And, you know, a lot of us have like, you know, gold chains and stuff like that.
Right.
I shit you not, at least like 20 people, different people came up to us like, yo, you guys are 100% from fucking Jersey. And I'm like, yo, what makes you say everybody
Were
tells
you
us that?
upset or were you like, thank
Well,
you?
that was the thing too. We're like, is this a compliment?
Yeah, you're like,
No,
after the
no.
6th time, you're like, what's happening?
So we would ask people like, you mean that in a go? Even the bartenders, like the one guy bartender, he was like, you guys look like complete assholes. Like, you guys are definitely from Jersey. And I'm like, all right. He's like, I'm buying you guys shots. So it like works.
okay,
You know what I mean? Like, he was like, you guys are hilarious. Like the way you guys talk. And I'm like,
It's almost like Jersey has a personality.
It
Yeah.
does.
If you're from Jersey, everyone assumes your personality.
Yeah. And I guess it's like,
either like it or
as
they
a
hate
guy,
it.
you're like a jerk off, and like a girl, you like how
bitch.
like you said, like a guy touch you, like don't fucking touch me.
Yeah.
Like you don't get that
Sassy.
other places. Yeah, it's like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like everybody's so nice.
That's true.
And it's not that we're not nice, we just understand each other. Even
Yes.
like driving in Jersey. You cut somebody off, they're giving you the finger, tell you to go,
Yeah.
Right
like fuck
away.
you. And like everywhere else is just like, oh, just let him go. Like,
Yeah.
nah. Like
Having
he
a
has a
rough
yield.
day.
He's not going in front. You know what I mean? You're
Right.
supposed to yield to me.
Right.
I'm gonna go let him know.
What else is very significant about Jersey that you could say?
I feel like we have really good food too.
Yes.
Like in every kind of, like from Italian food to steakhouses to like China. I don't know if you guys heard this. I heard like Chinese food in other states is like shit compared to
Yes,
here.
Yeah.
it is.
Like,
New York
why
and
is
New
that?
Jersey.
Does anybody have the answer to that?
I don't know.
Why?
Yeah, it's just
I don't
Chinese food,
know.
right? So it's like, But like they say Chinese, like I love Chinese food. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. Pizza's pizza, like ingredients wise,
That's true.
but it is different here.
Well, they say the water here.
They say that, but
Yeah.
is that like proven?
I just think also Italian restaurants in this area. Like I would never go
Yeah.
to Idaho and be like, this
Let's
is
go
a
to
good
this one.
Italian spot
Yeah.
somewhere. You know? Like,
Yeah, said no one ever.
Yeah.
Some restaurant in Idaho is gonna at you.
I know. They'd be like,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Come try it out.
Yeah.
Yo, fly us up.
Like
Yeah, really.
I definitely wouldn't try chicken parm in Idaho.
Right.
No.
You know.
Yeah.
I think also, and I hope I don't sound ignorant saying this, I'm really just speaking on like Italian culture for this, is like a lot of people immigrated to this area.
Right.
So the population of Italian Americans in this area are from, like, my dad's an immigrant, like came off Ellis Island. Like I know Chicago has a big Italian population as well, but maybe it's the same in the sense of just.
It's a thing here.
What's your third favorite Jersey thing?
Let's see. We got
What's something
the way
else
we
that
are.
Jersey's like?
Yeah, we got our food.
Definitely the accent. Can I actually ask you, where's your family from?
So they were all born and raised in Jersey City. I was in the next town over is Bayonne. So my mom and dad met at DJ's, which is a story we'll express
funny.
later. They moved around a few times. Then when me and my brother were born, we lived in Bayonne, which is right next to Jersey City.
Right.
And then Bayonne wasn't in Jersey City, weren't going, I guess, in the right direction. So we moved out of there. And then, we went to high school in Colonia, New Jersey.
Okay.
And then when I turned 22, I think, I moved back to Hoboken.
You have a very distinct North Jersey accent.
Yeah, my dad was just crazy. His was like anything with like ER sounded like an A. Like my dog growing up, her name was Ginger, but to him it was Ginger.
Yeah.
So it was
Ginger.
just like the way he would say it. So I'm growing up, and that was my gift when I was 1 year old, a dog, and her name was Ginger. So like growing up, and my dad was like, "Oh, Ginger." So I'm like, "Oh, her name's Ginger." You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So,
It's very distinct.
but then moving back, like so, it was always like a few words that I would. But moving back to Hoboken, I've been in Hoboken for like 6 years now, and I guess just being around like my dad a lot and stuff like that. It was just like
You pick it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
There's
weird.
different accents in Jersey, which I think is funny.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all Jersey, but
Right.
it's like different dialects almost, and even
Yeah.
different like phrases.
Right.
Like
That's another thing with Jersey too. There's so much shit here. Like you go to like Hoboken and you have like that kind of like style of living. But you go to like some places like down south Jersey, it's like farmland.
It's a different area.
Like you have no
That's where I
idea.
am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the different sections of Jersey is actually crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm in all the farmland.
are you okay? Yeah.
Yeah, she's in
like, some
bumblefuck,
people
New
like
Jersey.
people ride horses in Jersey, but like you go to
That's
Hoboken.
how she got here.
Really? Oh, no.
No.
Oh, that's why we were running late.
I mean, you have the thickest accent of the three of us.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And we all
Yeah.
grew up here.
So what's
What do you
crazy,
mean?
actually-
Yeah, you think we have a thick accent?
Well, no, like
No.
her a little bit I could hear.
Yeah,
But you ride
I
horses
don't.
and shit. So
Yeah,
it's
right.
like- What's crazy is I don't know what grade I was in, but I guess like I was catching on to some of the ways my dad was saying words so much that my mom got pulled out of class. Like I might have been in like second grade, and I was like embarrassed almost because I got pulled out by like an aide that is there for like speech.
Oh no, speech
when she
therapist.
I tell my mom this story to this day. I'm like pissed off about it. I actually get mad because it was like embarrassing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a good student. I get A's and B's.
Like I did my best.
Yeah. So this lady comes in. She's like, "Oh, like Joseph Faccone." I'm like, she must have the wrong one. I thought something happened.
You're like,
So I'm like, oh,
that's
yeah,
not me. It's
I'm
not
here,
for
yeah.
me.
So I walk out. Now I'm embarrassed. Like second grade. Like
Aw.
all my you know what I mean? My whole reputation's gone.
Yeah.
You're like, you're making me look bad.
So I sit down in the room. She goes, "Oh, we're here for speech." I'm like, "What do you mean we're here for speech?" And I was like my attitude like growing up was like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so she's like showing me pictures. I'm like, banana, like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So I swear to God, it's a true story. She showed me like 3, and she goes, "I don't think you have a speech problem." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. Neither do I."
Yeah.
So
what are we
whatever.
here for?
I brought back in class. I'm like, tell my friends. I'm like, "Oh, they had the wrong person." I go back home. I'm going nuts. I'm like, "Why would you do that?"
Oh, she called them?
She called him and told him I had a speech impediment.
Wait, but she probably had the same accent.
Yeah, like so she wasn't born and raised in Jersey City,
Okay.
but like I said, they met. My mom was from like South Jersey.
Right.
So my dad, like his whole culture of how things were like growing up, there was like some questionable things and stuff like that. It was all new to her, and like being back then in Jersey City, it was like an Italian neighborhood. Like everybody looked out for each other.
Right.
There was like my mom and dad's first date. My mom brought my dad. My dad brought my mom to Jersey City, and they're like driving around the neighborhood, and like some girl got mugged, like for a purse. So they saw my dad's car like at a light, and they were screaming out of the window. His name's Lou. They're like, Lou, like get him. And he was running right towards them. My dad like jumped out of the car, like tackled the dude. Dude was like, find my dad. And my dad had like.
What a good
up,
first date.
getting
If I were your
the
mom, I'd
purse
be like,
back.
did you plan this?
Yeah. Wait, no,
this
it's
up?
actually complete opposite though. Like got her purse back, and the dude's like, oh, like they were fighting.
Yeah.
So, like the cops come, whatever, take the guy. My dad comes back in the car. He's full of blood.
Yeah.
And this is like normal for him because like growing up back then, like
You
like,
look out for each other.
Yeah, if something went wrong, like people fought, and then it's not like today's world,
Yeah.
And my mom was like, she's like, take me home, bawling, crying, and she tells the story to the day. She's like, Joe, he was covered in blood, and it wasn't his blood, like you know what I mean. But like he did the right thing.
Yeah.
But this whole lifestyle was like
Like
So
that,
different.
You know what I
It was
mean?
probably scary that was so normal for him. She was like,
Exactly. Yeah, he's like, all right, we're gonna like I'll go change my shirt. She's like, no, bring me home, and she swore she was gonna.
yeah. So wait, how'd she go on the next date?
Yeah.
How'd he convince her?
He's a schmoozer. He's a schmoozer. Yeah.
He's a schmoozer.
Yeah, he knows how to talk.
I feel like we need your mom on this
But,
podcast.
yeah.
Should we call her?
We're gonna
Because
need
I
a few
gotta
hours.
know, like, what happened.
Mama
What a
Faccone.
Joe
story.
Faccone's mom.
What a first date.
Yeah, no, it's fucking crazy.
That's
That's
So
wild.
yeah, like so it was a whole thing new to her. But I forgot where we were going with this. But yeah, no.
There's just like
So long story short, yeah, speech
Jersey-isms.
impediment.
Yeah.
speech impediment.
Yeah, I said the third coolest thing is that like Jersey has so much to offer. Like you
Yeah.
can do everything. You can go to wineries, you can go to
Yeah.
breweries, you can go to clubs, you can go to bars,
You can go to the
ride
beach.
horses,
You can go to New
the beach.
York.
Yeah,
Like
You could
it's
be
so
classy,
much.
you could be trashy.
Yeah.
Literally.
You do it all.
you could do it all That's
Within
it.
like 15 miles. So like I said, my dad was an immigrant from Italy, and he was a little more Americanized because he moved here when he was 9, and he was one of 10, and he was the second youngest. So he went through the high school and things like that. But growing up, he would say certain words as if they were Italian, like pomegranate to him was pomegranata. So I would grow up and I would say pomegranata, and I got made fun of by all my friends. And I
sure
was
you
like,
did.
oh, I must be stupid. Like, I really thought that's how you said it. And then one day I heard my dad say it.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I started recording him, and I go, what'd you just say? He goes, yeah, it's a pomegranata flavored. And I was like, I started dying laughing. I'm like, it's pomegranate. He goes, no, it's not. I'm going to post this video on this thing. It's so funny. He literally looks at me like I'm the dumbest individual in the world. He was like, it's pomegranata, palm of the granada, pomegranata. He's like, are you stupid? And like, I have it on video. It's so funny.
Pomegranate.
What is it called?
Pomegranate. What are you talking about? That's what it is.
It's pomegranate.
No, it's not.
It's pomegranate.
It's granade. Palme granade. Palm of Granada.
But like, I mean, I think it sounds more beautiful that way, sure.
yeah.
But I used to get made fun of a lot because I would say like weird things that he would say.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was normal. We are gonna jump right in, and we're gonna do a fun little Q&A with Joe. We asked on our Instagram a bunch of questions about like, what's a red flag, what's a green flag, relationship stuff, New Jersey stuff, things like that. So we're going to ask Joe some of your questions, and he's going to answer in his TikTok content
Best way we
form.
can.
All right. So this person said, if they don't use social media a lot, is that a red or a green flag?
So I feel like past experience of like knowing things. I've like one of my boys actually does not have Instagram, and as like a girl point of view in a way, whenever he would meet girls out and like talk to them, like, oh, like let me follow you on Instagram before you leave. Like that's like a thing we do. Like I don't want your number, I want your Instagram. And the kid would be like, oh, I don't have Instagram. Automatic, she's like, oh, like multiple girls, like, oh, you have a girlfriend. Like you're hiding yourself from who you are. So I feel like and I can almost understand that because it's almost weird to not have a social media now. You know what I mean? So
That's a good point because I would
is.
100% be like, you just want my number.
Exactly.
I had that happen to me once, and I literally made fun of the guy for the next 20 minutes that he sat next to me.
Yeah, like-
I was like, you either work for the FBI or you have a girlfriend.
Yeah. Like
That's what I
do
said.
you have a Facebook? Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't want. It could be a green flag because it could just be like you know, like the girl doesn't really care
This
about
is
it, or the guy
biased
doesn't
though because
care.
you have a friend.
Also,
It's biased question. But I'm also kind of teaming with the girls on how they're like, oh, he does not have a girlfriend. He still doesn't have a girlfriend. But
We'll tag him.
yeah, it's I could see why it would be a red flag.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I go both ways with that because,
I say green.
like I I hate the social media shit. Like, anytime I do date somebody that has social media stuff, I'm like, listen, let's keep it clean. Look at whatever photos you want. Just don't like anyone's girl's ass or something. Screenshot it if you want. Keep it on. I really don't care. It's just like, because then people are like, oh, so-and-so like my photo. And
that is actually
just like, okay. Like,
and me and my girl the same way. Like, obviously for her to date somebody that gets a lot of, you know, some traction. So like that, I had to explain to her, I'm like, you know, if a girl like says something on a picture, like, there's a 99% chance I don't even know who the fuck they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's also a line for you, I would think, even if you like were to build even further in social media, like you almost have to play the game.
Yeah, and like respond to the comment.
Exactly.
And,
That's what I tell her too. I'm like, if they're messaging me on Instagram, like I'm not answering, like, you know what I mean? Like, unless it's like a promotion kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for example, like you guys, like,
right.
like you messaged me like to come on the show. Like, that's a totally different thing.
I invited your girlfriend too.
Right, you did actually. I actually told her she
I was
loved
like,
that
bring
too.
your girlfriend.
She's like, I wish I could come. I'm like, yeah, I know. But yeah, so like for like I give her a lot of credit too, because I'm sure that's not easy. Because like I try to sit down and look at the other side of it. Like, if she posts a picture and all these guys are like fucking all over, you know what I mean? I'd be like, all right, who the fuck is this guy? Yeah. And then you have to do a little investigation.
I have to say, my healthiest relationships are the ones where they don't have social media. Yeah. But I didn't meet them at like a bar or something. Right. That's the thing. Like I've known them.
I want to pick one.
Okay, 3 green flags that she's ready to be brought home to mom.
Whoa.
So for me, that's like a big thing. Like, I'm sure like you understand too. Like having an Italian mom, like my mom will investigate everything about this girl. So I need to make sure she like fits the criteria.
Like in front of her, like she'll grill her.
Oh yeah, she don't care. Yeah, she'll like dig into her. You know what I mean? Like, and get every little thing out, and then come back to me with all the information. Like I like ask her for it almost. And that's just the way she is. So I feel like before I have to like really, really like somebody before I can bring them home like, to my family. Like just because they're gonna get so much, you know what I mean? So they have to like pass in like a weird way, like so many like tests that like they're ready for this.
Yeah, they're tough enough.
You know, especially like coming from an Italian family, like you're gonna get destroyed. They're gonna ask you everything. You know what I mean?
Like 3 green flags that you're like, mom would like that.
Definitely like the way she presents herself, or like how she like talks and like, you know, stuff like that.
Classy in the streets, freaking the sheets.
Exactly.
Mom does not want to know that.
Yeah, like, you know, like a classy girl, like,
yeah,
for sure. That's definitely a very important one. So like, maybe I'm being biased, but like if I brought home a girl, and there's nothing wrong if you guys do or anybody does, if I brought home a girl and like we're at my mom's house, she's like, I'm gonna go outside and smoke a cigarette, that's a huge no for me.
So she needs to have like what's the word, not good tendencies, but like good, like healthy habits.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, listen, if you smoke cigarettes, you smoke cigarettes. Not my thing. I don't smoke cigarettes. I would never want to date anybody that smokes cigarettes.
Your mom's gonna put anyone you date on like the highest pedestal possible.
Yes.
Right.
So if she like coughs without covering her whole mouth, she's like, she's done.
Yeah, exactly. Ow. And it's yeah. So like when I date somebody, or like I'm gonna date somebody, I have to make sure my mom would date somebody too.
Ooh,
in a way,
that's a good one.
Because I've been in a situation before, like my mom's like, that girl's no good, and then I'm like, fuck, like. Now, you know what I mean?
Out.
Yeah.
And
so
what
classy.
My mom doesn't like you.
Classy, good character, and name another one.
It doesn't smoke cigarettes.
Doesn't smoke cigarettes.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, we can go with that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would your 3 be?
For my mom.
Yeah, or like bring it home to your parents, I guess, or maybe your dad in that sense.
Yeah, like,
because I feel like
someone
like
who's a really good people person, who's
That's
not awkward. Because my parents are like so outgoing, they would be like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
Someone who's very stable. Like not well mentally as well, but like in their life, like has a job, like has good morals, like just is their own person, and someone who has money.
Honestly, now that you're saying this, I agree with almost all of those.
She's really blunt.
I'm acting like Joe's a millionaire. No, but he was prepared to take care of me, which
Joe's
I appreciate.
very financially smart. He was like
super
saving
smart.
shit at like
He's a finance bro, so he should be smart.
Yeah. See, that's another thing too. Like with my girlfriend now, my mom is literally obsessed with her. Like I think my mom, like, is crazy. Like they talk.
She's like, it's her.
Maybe sometimes too much. But they have. So my mom like is retired. She did human resources, and that's what my girl does now. So once she told me that, I'm like, oh, my mom's gonna fucking love you. So now they do, they have their
I love
own
that.
little thing.
That's
and she's like a very
cute.
big like people person, like you said. I didn't even think of that one. But she could talk to anybody. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And even though she's like a little shy, but when it comes to, like family,
Yeah. She
she's
can
very,
open up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
she's
People
just
feel
open
special
everything.
when you like open up to them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a good time to
And
do
now
that
I
in
got
front
my
of your
mom
mom.
like, yo, don't fuck this up. Like, you
Yeah.
know, all this stuff.
Now it's on you. It's off her and it's
Yeah.
on you.
And then she's like, I swear to God, too, my mom would like tell her like, that TikTok Joe, that's not,
He's better.
Yeah, he's better than that. Don't let that fool you. I'm like, there we go. I'm like, she knows. We had a whole conversation about him. Huh?
What about
I don't
you?
know.
3?
I don't know what my 3 would be. My dad was very, very strict. And I remember, this wasn't even someone I was dating. We were like in middle school, but this kid came, remember when like wearing your pants low was really cool?
Yeah, sagging.
He showed up to the front door like that. And all of a sudden we hear the door close. My dad comes back up the stairs and we're like, oh, where's so-and-so? I'm not going to say his name on here, but where's so-and-so? And he's like, oh, he's still outside. He's fixing his pants. And we were like, what? And so I go back down. I open the door and he's like shaking. And I'm like, what just happened? He's like, your dad wouldn't let me in. So my dad goes down the stairs. He goes, hey, nice to meet you. Do me a favor, pull up your pants and try again. And like close the door on him or something like that.
Yeah,
and
good for him,
the guy was shaking.
Yeah.
And
kid.
so I think just like
He was
we
like,
were
this is
literally-
cool.
We were literally in middle school. He's like, Mom, can you pick me up? I'm scared. Maybe something of just like looking presentable, like you
Yeah, for
said.
sure, yeah.
I think
I just
trying
think
to think
in
of-
strict, stereotypical, whatever we'll say, Italian, like the first impressions are everything.
Yeah.
So I feel like that like presentation comes from that.
Yeah.
It's like you only get one first impression, like either like you or I fucking don't kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
My dad was also a very good judge of character. Like he knew as soon as you walked in the door what you were all about. And every single guy I ever brought, he right on the nail every single time. And he was like, that guy's like, he's a good kid, he's just really lost right now.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it was. Or he was like, that kid's fucked up. Very fucked up. He was like, or
And
he
he
was like,
fucked up.
he's like, this kid is gonna try to take you away from your family. And I was like, why would he do that? He was doing exactly, like, he just knew every single, like, he was such a good judge of character. So sometimes I'd bring someone, like, after a first date, and I'd come back and I'd be like, what'd you think? And he's like, no. And I'm like, cool. Yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah, you're
Like, it
always
wouldn't
right,
even,
yeah.
it was whatever dad said. I was like, yeah, that's it. So, I don't know what my third one,
You
I
only
think,
have one.
I think just, like, respect. Respect is, like, a huge thing.
Out of all the Jersey Shore bars that you've been to, what is your favorite and why?
Definitely DJs for sure.
It explained DJs to us because you kind of said black hole, but
I know DJs.
I know, but he explained it to me earlier in a really funny way.
So yeah. So basically, like, it's obviously a bar in Belmar, bar/club in Belmar, and it's like just this. It's actually pretty big, but it's so small at the same exact time. Like probably the best way to describe it. And they pack this place to like a sardine in a can. Like you're legit on top of people, and even though like maybe like people that never been there be like, oh, I don't go there because I don't like to be on top of people like that. You would there. It's a different vibe there. It's like a different feeling. The music is just so loud that like your chest is beating to whatever song is being played. There's so many like light fixtures in that place that are just spinning and horns just going off. It's just like you don't even know where you are.
You
There's
literally
no
are
windows. You
beaming
don't know
with
what time
pride.
it is.
Yeah, he's like, it's euphoric.
You're beaming, and I'm over here like having a anxiety attack. And you're like, it's the best
So you
place.
have to go, like, Jack, you have to bring her there. Like, you
Yeah, we have to do that.
Just get the experience. And, like, it's just the least amount of people you go with, too, almost, like, the better, just because of how crazy it is. Like, if you're going to walk through, like, everyone needs to, like, hold hands. Or,
Yeah.
like, lock arms, especially if it's, like, all girls, and just walk through. But everybody's just on the same page. Like, everyone's just, like, so drunk. Or, like, even if you're not drunk, you're drunk off the atmosphere of being there.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it, and it's been going on for literally generations. Like I said, my mom and dad met at DJs when they were like 22 years old.
Amazing.
Like that's crazy. Now I go there.
That's so funny.
That's nuts to me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so I would walk in, and like a few years ago I would like make the joke with my mom. She's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to DJs to meet my future ex-wife," because my mom and dad ended up getting divorced after like so many years. Like so.
Listen, Joe Faccone, DJs literally made you.
Literally, yeah, and I'm so thankful for them for that too, in
DJs
like a non-weird way.
literally,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be here
Yeah.
without
It would just be Joe
DJs.
Faccone. Yeah, you know what I mean?
No, but in general, like your
I
parents
wouldn't.
never would have
You're
met.
absolutely right. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I think you owe DJs.
They like literally
lot,
made me. You're
a
absolutely right.
lot.
I didn't even think about it like that. Yeah, like without DJs, mom and dad would have never met. I wouldn't even be here.
You
Yeah.
owe DJs
So like in both ways, it
everything.
would.
Next question. If you meet a girl out at a bar and she's with 2 friends, do you just buy her a drink or all her friends too?
Ooh.
So the way I would be is if her friends are also vibing with my friends, I'd be telling my friends like, yo, you go buy her drink, you buy her drink, let's all do our thing here, and it'll be good. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that actually just happened with my girl now. When we met up with them, we went to Deer Maud in Hoboken, great spot. And I met up with my girl, like that's where we like rekindled. And my 2 boys were hanging out with her one sister and her friend. So everybody was vibing and everything was good. I don't have to buy drinks for my girl now. But if it was the opposite way around, it was just me and them, I feel like I would. You know what I mean? I feel like if not, they'll be like, oh, respectful king. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what people say now.
Respectful king.
It'll give you points with the girl for
Exactly.
sure.
It also makes you look good, and it's like, what's another, $7 each for another drink.
Right.
It gets you like, if you actually like the girl, if
maybe-
a guy actually likes you, he's gonna buy drinks for you and your friends.
Maybe you'll get her number instead of her Instagram.
Exactly. If she has an Instagram.
You're right.
Yeah.
So it's like, so I personally I would. I think everybody should. If you're actually feeling the girl and you want to like actually get to know her beyond the point of just that night, you know what I mean? You should do that. You should be like a gentleman. But that's also how people are raised and I guess how much money they make and stuff like that. But
All right, everybody. So sorry, our camera's dead. Literally, we need to buy a new camera. Our camera keeps dying every time we do these long episodes. But we're just gonna finish this out on audio.
What's another one? Oh, I love this one. Do you believe in falling in love at the Jersey Shore?
I do not.
No?
I definitely do not. That shit does not happen. You will get
You were made because of it.
Too I know. Yeah, but that didn't last forever. It definitely wasn't.
It doesn't say eternal love, just in love.
Then yes, you easily can. Then. You definitely. I've seen it happen many times before.
How many times have you fallen in love at the Jersey Shore?
Never.
Really? Not once?
Never once. Honestly, I would never like allow myself to. I've never met a girl down at the Jersey Shore and dated her. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah, definitely never did.
I like
You're like, wait.
Yeah, wait, I'm like, no, never did.
You're like, who am I offending saying this?
I just like, I don't know, like to me, when I'm dating somebody, like when I'm single, I'm single, I'm going out a lot, and it's not even like that, but I'm just like going out a lot and enjoying myself because that's what I want to do, you know what I mean? But when I'm like in a relationship,
you just want to be with them all the time.
Yeah, it's like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna. It's like weird. Like I wouldn't want to date somebody that is going out every single weekend.
Right.
If I'm like working or whatever.
Right.
Obviously they want to go out like girls' night. I'm all for it. Like have a great time. But like a lot of people that go down to like DJs and all that stuff, they're repeat offenders. They're going every single weekend. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
You're like, I know.
it's like like I'm not gonna take her out of her atmosphere. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
That's fair.
Interesting.
Next.
If they don't text you a lot, is that a red or green flag?
Ooh.
if I'm texting somebody that I'm like want to talk to and they're not answering, but they're putting stories up on Instagram, that bothers me. You know what I mean? If you don't want to talk to me, just let me know.
Yeah.
Do you think
But-
it's like a game though?
I think so. I think it's like I don't want to answer too quickly kind of thing. You know what I mean? Where like somebody texts me, I just answer like right away unless I'm like really really
So
busy.
from a
you know what I
man's
mean?
perspective, if a man wasn't texting a woman, does he actually want to talk to her?
No. If you want, in like a serious note, if you want somebody in your life, you're gonna make sure that they're there in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if they're texting you, why would you not? Unless you're like working, totally different. If you're at work,
Right.
like obviously you should work. But if you're just like sitting home and like you're texting somebody, and they're not answering you, but they're putting like shit up on Instagram or whatever, there's something there.
That'll piss me
You know
off.
what I mean?
Yeah.
What's the best way to approach a girl at a bar and not come off creepy? Walk me
He's like, you're
walk me
fucked.
through it. What's your
You're
girlfriend's
fucked.
name?
Sam.
All right, Sam's
Samantha.
over there. You don't know her. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, she's cute.
Oh my god, I know this is fucking. Without being creepy, I always like. You ever like? Well, you guys are female, so I guess it's different as a guy. But like, you always like think about that too. Obviously, like to not be creepy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we can come off as creepy as fuck. People will still like us.
Yeah, I think like exactly. Yeah, you guys got it good. I'd probably just like. I mean, depending like the environment. If it's just like a regular bar of music, I would probably in like a non-creepy way like act like I'm going to get a drink at the bar, and then like stand there like waiting for a drink, and then make like I said, I'm very good like in the moment kind of
Small
kind of
talk,
thing. Yeah. So like whether it's like packed and I'm like tap her and be like, how long you been waiting for a drink? Like it's like a small conversation. That's
So
not
chivalry.
like
That's
I'm not gonna
like,
go up to her and be like,
damn, you look
you're,
fine.
Yeah, you're fucking hot. Like, some weird shit. My one boy, he's actually fucking weird. And we all make fun of him for it. But his line, and it doesn't work like 98% of the time. God bless him. We love him though, and he knows it. But he'll see a girl and he'll be like, oh, dude, she's fucking hot. And we're like, all right, like whatever. Everyone has their own like taste. So he'd be like, watch this. He'll go up to the girl, and he'll go up to her and be like, I just want to let you know that you have the nicest hair here. Like, your hair looks beautiful. And his name, I'm going to tell him his name. He don't give a fuck. His name's Chris. And Chris is like, bro, you tell him that. Do you know how long they took to do their hair tonight to look good? And now you're complimenting them. They go fucking crazy. And we're all like...
Can I give him advice?
We're like, dude, that's the stupidest thing I've ever fucking... Like, I get it, but, like, I get your logic here.
Yeah.
Try something out. It ain't, you know what I mean?
Oh
like,
my god!
yeah.
I think it's sweet that he thought that into it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I know how to compliment this girl, but that's like on your legit date. Like, oh my god, your hair looks really
Yeah,
good. It
yeah.
came out
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah.
Like, you clearly love the whatever. If you want to like be detailed like
That's
that,
a later
but when you're
conversation.
first
Yeah.
impressions at a bar,
Yeah.
read the room.
Or he'll go up to him and be like, I know you. And he has no idea.
Oh,
but just
no, I know
I'm
this
like,
guy.
Dude, so, no, like, that's just fucking weird. I don't know. But he's like, that's what he's known for. Like, we just, it's
That's
like
You
the
know,
funniest thing.
one day he's gonna find a girl that's gonna laugh, and
Yeah.
then they're gonna vibe off that.
Yeah.
That's
you know, like
hilarious.
that, and that's how he'll know he's hers.
Right,
Because she'll
exactly.
get it. She'll
Yeah.
be like, "You're funny."
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You'd be like, you guys should date.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Next one. If she is a party promoter, is that a red flag?
So, like, basically,
Like she calls
a club
John up
promoter.
every time she wants to go out.
yeah, see, to me, that's a little weird. Like, I did a video once, which is, like, actually true, that, like, if you walk into, like, a bar in Hoboken and all the bouncers are like,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
oh, Jackie, oh, you're back. Like, if they say you're back, like, bro, like,
But
that's-
you run.
yeah, that girl.
That's not your girl.
Yeah, it's not your girl. That's the club's girl at that point. To me, that's like a weird thing. And then like you walk in, like all the bartenders are like, oh, like guy bartenders are like, oh, Jackie, what's up? And they're not even acknowledging you, and you're like standing right next. Like I know you said you and your Joe like don't show no PDA, like
Yeah.
whatever. But like you're in a situation where like you're holding the girl's hand or something like that, and like the manager of the place or the bouncer's like talking to them like, oh, blah blah, you know, so and so. Where's your friends at? And you're just standing there and you're not even getting
You're
paid attention.
purposely
You're just
being
a-
avoided.
I'm gonna be honest with you, you're just a number. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in a non-weird way. You're
You're just
a
there to
number.
buy her drinks.
This guy has met so many of these guys that he don't even care who you are at this point. You know what I'm saying?
That's fucking
It's
wild.
a
I
real.
feel like we know
that's
one
a
or two
real
of those
thing.
girls.
And it works. I'm not being like bi. It works both ways.
Yeah.
It works both
Absolutely.
ways. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like these club promoters and these bouncers, they see guys and girls come in or leave
Yeah.
with different people.
Yeah.
And that's like, you know, the lifestyle people live, and it, you know, it is what it is.
Wild.
Yeah. So.
All right. One more, I guess. If your boyfriend hangs out, I guess this is a person that asked this, but if your boyfriend hangs out with his girl best friend one-on-one, is that a red flag?
I think if the significant other knows that person, it makes things a lot better. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I feel like if you came into the relationship and that person already was their best friend,
yeah,
it's not weird.
and they have no
Yeah.
knowledge of him. Yeah, but like they have no knowledge of him at all, and you're just like, oh, what are you doing tonight? You want to hang out? Like, oh no, I'm actually hanging out with her.
Yeah.
Like that's a little fucking.
Yeah.
that's a
I
little-
do feel like when you're dating somebody and you have a best friend, because I have a best friend of the opposite sex, like that's something that you should discuss really early on, because that could make or break a relationship. You'll find out real quick if people are cool with that or not.
Yeah.
Okay, let's close this out. What's your best advice that you can give finishing out this summer?
Honestly, if there's anything that like to tell people, it's like I feel like now, and like a serious note and like a fun note, is a lot of people like now in this generation, because of social media, feel like they need to be somebody that they're not. I feel like, you know what I mean? And like whoever you are, like you should just be. If you like going out, then you should go out a lot. If you don't like going out, you shouldn't have to like force yourself to do things just because you think it's like the right thing to do. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's just like our generation doesn't understand that. They see stuff on social media, they see the way people act, they see the way celebrities are, and they want to be like that.
Yeah.
But in reality, like you should just be the best version of yourself, and you like truly find happiness like that.
Yeah.
You know what I
think
mean?
That's why you're gonna figure this out. I know you're like in a little like, what do I do with this?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you're gonna figure it out.
Yeah,
'cause
and I appreciate you
are-
guys bringing me on here, and like, you know,
Yes,
I've done a
yeah.
podcast in a while. I've been like out of the loop, so
No,
it's actually a
this
lot
was
of
so
fun. I had a great time too.
Yeah, this is so
was great.
fun.
I'm glad you came. So check out our sponsor before we end this podcast.
Freshie Health Infusion right here in Bloomfield, New Jersey. They are so incredible. Definitely check them out. And thanks so much, Joe, for coming on today.
Yeah, you guys
So
were
much
having me. You guys are
fun.
awesome.
This is
Oh
great.
my God. I can't wait
to meet your
post
mom.
this. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't wait
part
to meet
two.
your mom.
Part 2 is coming soon.
All right. We will see you guys next week. Thanks so much.
Bye.
See you later.